Star Wars Bloodline by Claudia Gray was a great book that helped to both expand and shed some light on the Star Wars universe. So I thought I'd do a quick video on my top 5 reveals and moments from Bloodline in regards to making the events of The Force Awakens much clearer and expanding on what we know about the galaxy after Return of the Jedi. Number 5 on my list is the range of opinions we see in Bloodline surrounding the former Empire and the amount of individuals who still sympathize with the idea of centralized authority. Bloodline made it clear that not every individual was happy to see the New Republic step in to replace the Empire. Just as we see that there are characters who are committed to preventing the centralization of political authority, the novel makes it clear that not everyone is committed to the New Republic, and many characters long for the days of the Empire almost a quarter century after its fall. However, the range of opinions surrounding the Empire is diverse, and Bloodline does a great job of instilling within its characters a number of reasons for why they support centralizing authority and strengthening galactic government, while rejecting the idea of complete planetary autonomy. For example, the centrist Senator Ransom Casterfo romantically dreamed of Empire due to its potential to create maximum efficiency and bring the worlds into a stronger relationship with each other. But even Senator Casterfo saw the Emperor and Darth Vader as negative elements within the previous Empire and instead desired wise authoritarian leadership. On the other hand, Senator Karai Sindian was part of the more radical wing of the centrist faction who had no time for moderates, actively sought war and rejected peace, and longed for the establishment of a new legal framework and the elimination of political chaos through the emergence of the First Order. These wide-ranging opinions amongst the senators in Bloodline, and the political opinions that they held, provides the reader with a picture of how the political situation gets to where it is by the time of The Force Awakens, and clarifies how the First Order and the Resistance ultimately emerged as separate political entities from the New Republic. Number 4 on my list of favorite reveals and moments in Star Wars Bloodline is the information that we were provided about the capital of the New Republic, Hosnian Prime. We were provided with a lot of scenes taking place in and around the Senate, which gave some much needed clarity and connection to exactly what was destroyed by the Starkiller base in The Force Awakens. Even more importantly in this regard, not only did we get a visual into what was destroyed, but we were also introduced to a number of characters who would have been on the planet during its destruction, which makes the destruction of the Hosnian system in the movie much more devastating and emotional. Claudia Gray was also able to provide the reader with some much needed information regarding Hosnian Prime and its role as the capital of the New Republic. It was very interesting to learn that when choosing their capital, the New Republic wanted to avoid the traditional and historically significant planet of Coruscant due to its obvious connections to the Galactic Empire. We learned that the New Republic had chosen to implement a system wherein the Senate would vote every few years where the capital of the New Republic would be. This new information in Bloodline demonstrates the importance of Hosnian Prime, how the planet came to be the capital of the New Republic, and the importance of the planet being destroyed in The Force Awakens. At number 3 on the list is one of my favorite reveals about Princess Leia that was provided in Bloodline, which was the fact that Leia did not make any attempt to follow in the steps of her Skywalker legacy to become a Jedi, nor did she train to make use of her abilities with the Force. This is a completely different direction that was taken in the expanded universe, where Leia did train to become a Jedi Knight and to utilize her powerful Force heritage. It is revealed in Bloodline that Leia had been deeply committed to the Senate and her role as a senator, and she ultimately comes to understand that although she'd like to leave the Senate and spend more time with Han, she has the abilities and foresight to do the greatest amount of good while working within the realm of galactic politics. And while we probably won't get to see Leia going toe-to-toe with Kylo Ren or Supreme Leader Snoke in lightsaber combat in the upcoming movies, Bloodline does do a good job of explaining exactly why it is Leia who has come to be the leader of the Resistance by the time of The Force Awakens. Coming in at number 2 on my list, and one of the best reveals in the novel in my opinion, surrounds that of Han and Leia's son Ben, who we know goes on to become the dark side user Kylo Ren by the time of The Force Awakens, 6 years later. It is revealed in Bloodline that at this time, Ben, along with the rest of the galaxy for that matter, does not know that Darth Vader is his grandfather, and he only learns of this connection when it is publicly revealed on the floor of the Senate by Senator Ransom Casterfo. This is such a great reveal in my opinion, as we can only assume that a large part of Ben's seduction by Supreme Leader Snoke is hinged upon him having to learn of this horrible truth in a way that was publicly humiliating, and also the vulnerabilities that would have been created for Ben due to a lack of trust that would have been built between him and his parents, and maybe even more importantly, between him and his uncle Luke. In relation to this reveal, Bloodline includes some excellent moments where Leia is regretful that her, Han, and Luke had been foolish enough to think that there was a good time in which to inform Ben about his connection to Darth Vader. You get a real sense that Leia realized that they should have told Ben sooner, and regretted the fact that they were so naive to think that there could possibly be a right moment for such devastating news. From these scenes in Bloodline, we can infer that these moments were crucial to the rise of Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens, and we may see some of these themes come to play an important role in Episode 8 or 9. And finally, my favorite reveal from Bloodline is that Luke Skywalker's role in the galaxy is of virtually no importance almost a quarter century after the Battle of Endor and the fall of the Empire. There are a number of moments from the novel where the reader is made acutely aware of the fact that Luke has become much more a figure of myth than someone who's playing an overtly important role in the affairs of the galaxy. Rather than being an influential character, it is revealed in Bloodline that Luke had been scarcely seen within the public sphere for years and had little influence outside of his own acolytes. Further, important radical centrist figures such as Senator Karai Sindian had come to view Luke as a non-threat, giving rise to the view that individuals within the galaxy have started to forget about what he did during the Galactic Civil War. I can only hope that we learn a lot more about Luke in the upcoming films to find out exactly what his search for Jedi lore resulted in, why he's been so reclusive during the time between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, and see what type of role he commits to in defending against the First Order, Kylo Ren, and Supreme Leader Snoke. So those are my top 5 reveals and moments from the novel Bloodline by Claudia Gray. I'd be happy to hear and discuss what your favorite parts of the novel are in the comments section below. I hope that you all have a great day, and I look forward to talking with you all again soon.